Hey everybody, Nick here, and today we're going to do a little disassembly and maintenance on this little guy right here. This is the Kansept Knives Gremlin. That's right. Alright, let's start off by taking this apart, which is actually the thing that you would generally do during a disassembly, so I'm glad we've had this talk. Alright, long day, I guess. Going ahead, and it is a free spinning pivot, so I'm going to go ahead and use this other pivot here to hold on to the pivot as I rotate it. I'm going to say pivot a few more times there. Pivot, pivot, pivot. But anyways, there is that. And if you're curious about this or any of the other tools I'm using during today's disassembly, go ahead and check out nickshabazz.com/tools. You'll get the video with details on every last one of them. Pop this loose and pop this loose. And beautiful. Where did that go? Here. All right. And then I should be able to... The knife is disassembling itself in my hand. There we go. All right. What we see here is very simple construction. Kim Ning. Oh, that's nice. They engraved the designer's name on the inside of it. Nice. Can't argue with that. Kim Ning is a designer for Kansept, as well as he used to do a lot of design for Kaiser, actually. But he is a designer whose work I am appreciating more and more every day. I've had the shard across my table recently. Then I've got this little guy, the Gremlin, which, by the way, I'm going to try very hard not to get wet. And then that's a joke. This is rubbing alcohol. The fact that this is a rubbing alcohol has nothing to do with the fact that it's a joke. I just said those two things. Anyways, moving on. Kim Ning is somebody I'm starting to respect a good deal more as a designer just because he's doing some pretty impressive work over here. So that's good. I'll go ahead and I'll pop the pivot through here. And that should let me clean things off a little bit more. I do wish that this pivot was not free spinning. That would be a good improvement, I think, on the knife generally. But this is one that I've been kind of looking forward to. This is one of the ones that Kansept showed off when they very first were getting started as a brand, right? This was one of the first knives that they kind of publicly put out and or put forward, that is, and it's just now finally hit production. But it's a pretty attractive little design. It does have a little bit of a recurve to the blade, which is not something I generally love, but at the same time, it's pretty reasonable. It's not too bad. But yeah, I'm glad to see this guy doing, I'm glad to see this guy out in the wild, so to speak. Put this guy back together with a little bit of 10-weight nano oil here. That's a lot of 10-weight nano oil, but that'll still do. Did I clean off the bearings? I don't know. I'll go ahead and clean that off and clean that off. I got to say, the knife is not terribly dirty out of the box, so to speak. And this was, by the way, sent to me directly from Kansept, that is. And so, yeah. But it came relatively clean, but nonetheless, it never hurts to do a little bit of cleaning up as long as you do a reasonable job of it and don't, hurt anything. It never hurts unless you hurt anything. That's the kind of hard-hitting journalistic quality and integrity that you expect from the Nick Shabazz channel. But anyways, yeah, so sometimes you can still make some improvements even though the action was fine out of the box. And so there we go. I've got some lubrication here in the tent ball hole. The pivot itself, I think I just lubricated. Yes, I did. So that should work. Then I'll drop a little bit onto the blade here and put down the bearing. And then rotate, rotate, rotate. That there. And now I drop on the rest of this. All right. So we will try and snap this guy back together. There we go. What I needed to do to snap this back together was actually to lift the lock bar here. That made it a great deal easier to, get everything back into alignment there. So that was easy. That was an improvement. So let's go ahead and put this guy, put a little thread locker on there. I'm using blue thread locker on a stick here at the moment. And tighten, tighten, tighten. And we will, come on, pop this into place as well. And tighten, tighten, tighten. Beautiful. And, oh, that was a little smoother, actually. So then I take a little bit more thread lock here. And just put it into the pivot here. And I'm not cross-threading, am I? No, it's just once I get a little deeper in there, there's a little bit more friction, and the pivot is wanting to free spin. All right, so where are we at here? Fully centered. Nice action, maybe a little tighter than it needs to be, actually. Yeah, I think we're over-tightened here. So let's go ahead and give it the slightest bit of loosening. Yeah, that's a little freer. Good. Oh, yeah. That is quite smooth indeed. I'm going to try and loosen this up just a little touch more. Okay, no blade play, very smooth, dead centered, running beautifully. All right, so let's go into the first impressions of this guy. This is a very nice little knife. Like I said already, it was a piece that I saw kind of its design at one point in time here, you know, early on, but now seeing it come through is definitely, it's improved. One of the things that they had issues with very early on, although, for instance, the kerning on the font there is still a little bit troublesome. So this is the Gremlin, but nonetheless, the Gremlin here is they've done a lot of improvement. They're no longer writing Kansept in big letters on the blade, etc. They've made some fixes there. They're using a fat carbon inlay here. The inlay work is not perfect. There's a little bit of extra height of the fat carbon above the handle here, but it certainly works well. The design of it is attractive, generally speaking. The action is very good. It's absolutely good to go. No problems whatsoever with the action here. It is smooth and smoothing out further as I'm using it here, and especially, ooh, yeah. So the action is good. And actually it comes down to a reasonably thin edge here, and even thinner than that as you get further out onto the blade. So honestly, my first impressions of this are very positive. This is a nice little knife, and I'm hoping very much that it will. Well, frankly, I'm hoping that actually carrying it will tell me a little bit more about that. And actually, what I've just decided to do, I'm calling it audible here. But these two knives, the Gremlin and the Sprite, are basically the same thing, but you can think about them as being two different sizes of the same knife. And rather than, because it just occurred to me that if I do this otherwise, I'm going to have to make two separate videos on what is effectively two sizes of the same knife. So I'm just going to go ahead and break this guy down too. Hopefully nothing will be too different in there. This will probably be another quick disassembly, but nonetheless, figure I'll do both of these at the same time. And you know, honestly, my feelings on the big guy here are very, very similar. Bigger bearings, all right. Makes sense, I guess. Use a little bit more in the way of rubbing alcohol here. Use a brand new fabric swatch because they are very, very cheap. Looks like we're removing a little bit of gunk here, but nothing too bad. That's good. And aside from that, I see that there is a slight difference in the construction. By the way, lock bar insert on both of these knives. Slight difference in the construction in that on the Gremlin there, this washer area was contiguous, was one solid space with this cutout here for the stop pin, whereas on the Sprite that does not appear to be the case. Not a big deal. It doesn't matter particularly either way, but that is one difference between the two that is, you know, independent of size, right? So there's that. There is no internal milling on either of these knives. There's some external milling with the inlay here, which is appears to be a G10 and maybe it could even be a micarta. Either way, it's some material or another, some kind of resin-based composite. If I were to guess out loud. Or frankly, if I would have guessed silently, the answer would be the same thing. Let's be real. Go ahead, clean off the pivot here, and I'll go also, and I will clean the inside of the pivot hole here on the blade, just to get rid of, well, that. You know, is that going to end the world, so to speak? No, God knows in 2020 we don't need another candidate to do that, so to speak, but another candidate for things to do that, although... Anyways, back at the ranch. Yeah, everything seems to be working fine here. The other one was a little bit smoother. That is, the Gremlin was a little bit smoother once I was done. I kind of suspect this is going to end up in the same vicinity, so to speak, of the smoothation. And cleaned all up. All right, beautiful. I have done the pivot here. So what I'll go ahead and do is I will reinsert the pivot and pop that through in the bottom. I will put a little bit of lubrication onto the pivot itself, which will apply itself to the blade. And then I will drip some of that there. Beautiful. And I will rotate this to get the lubrication distributed along the bearing. I'll go ahead and I'll put some lubrication into the detent ball hole here, which will then distribute itself along the detent ball path, which is good. And then I will put a little bit more lube right here. And a little there. Rotate. And then we drop the top piece on, and we are good to go. Again, I need to press in the lock bar here, which allows everything to snap shut. Although it's not snapping as definitively as the other one was, but that's okay. Go ahead and grab the screws and kind of get those in place so that way everything stays where I want it to. Yeah, this is really just a size variant, I feel like. And that's, you know, in many cases, it's not fair for me at some level to just talk about all of the size variants or something, because a good size variant, although it's going to be substantially similar in size, will have some differences. You know, for instance, it, you know, won't necessarily be so much thicker in blade stock, or it won't be, I mean, so the size variants really do deserve their own kind of independent consideration, but in many cases, the good parts of a design are identical across the two versions, so to speak. You know, basic ideas of like, oh, this blade is recurved. That means the same thing for both of these knives, etc. So, you know, it's always kind of a weird conflict, so to speak, intellectually and internally when reviewing a sized set, so to speak. Just because, you know, at some level it's nice to just talk about them both. But, you know, so usually my solution is to feature them both in one single video here. And talk about the differences between those pieces. Ooh, that got way smoother. Yeah, listen to that. There is zero play, either direction. Super smooth, super nice. All right, that's all set. But you know, that said, my overall conclusion on the regular size one here, the Sprite is basically the same as the Gremlin. Nice design, and actually in this case, ergonomically speaking, the Sprite, the full size one, is actually a little bit nicer in the hand as opposed to this guy, which you get a little bit more off of the clip. The clip is very high up there. But yeah, first impressions of both of these are very, very positive. I'm impressed by them. And I think it's a very nice design. And frankly, I think it's a design with a little bit of something different to it, right? The little bit of recurve to the blade, I don't necessarily love, but it adds a little bit of panache. It makes it look a little different. There's some definite, like, they put some thinking into the lines. The inlays are nice. I'm impressed with this pair of knives. I opened up the box, so to speak, finding these guys, was like, oh, yeah, these are going to be hits. These are definitely going to be hits. Is that very vaguely off-center? I'm going to go ahead and loosen these guys right here just to see whether that's going to have any effect. And yeah, there we go. And we are now dead center. Yeah, if we're not dead centered, we're certainly tired, so to speak. But I think this is, I could recite the whole Monty Python sketch. It's like a skit and a sketch combined. But, yeah, certainly if it ain't dead, it's not dead yet. It's quite close. This is an X-Parrot. Anyways, that is one of my feelings here. Quite nice, well done concept. And I will look forward to doing a full review. I'll probably combine these two, despite what I was just saying, and talk about where they differ. But yeah, hopefully this has been interesting to you, and have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.